Welcome to the Psych Central Show, where each episode presents an in-depth look at issues from the field of psychology and mental health, with host Gabe Howard and co-host Vincent M. Wales.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to this week's episode of the Psych Central Show podcast. My name is Gabe Howard, and with me, as always, is Vincent M. Wales. Vincent, wish everybody a Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, whatever you choose to celebrate or not.
I choose season's greetings because somehow that like avoided the fray. Like it's always Happy Holidays versus Merry Christmas, and season's greetings is over there like, it's not about me yet. I figure we got a couple of years, right?
That works, sure.
Yeah. So this episode is called Surviving Christmas. Whether you live with mental illness like, Vin and I do, or whether you're just a person who gets stressed out during the holidays, the holidays can be, pretty much what you make of them. I love Christmas. I adore Christmas to an annoying degree. I play Santa Claus. I like Christmas so much. But my wonderful co-host, on the other hand, is...
What? What am I, Gabe?
You're less excited about Christmas, right?
I don't dislike it.
Yeah, but notice that you won't say, I like Christmas. You find Christmas to be one of these things that you kind of put up with. It's not bad, it's not good, but it's just in the way. And you and I have talked many, many times about different coping skills that you use to survive the holidays.
True enough.
See,
that is true.
And even though I adore Christmas, I believe that I have made that abundantly clear. The holidays can cause me stress as well. For example, in a couple of days, I'm going to pack up my wife and all of the presents, and I'm going to head to Memphis, where I'm going to hang with my entire family. So there's Gabe and his mom and dad, and his grandma and grandpa, and his brothers and sisters, and there's all of these tensions that I don't face daily because, I keep a nice 700-mile buffer between myself and my family. They're good people. I always feel the need to say that they're good people, incredible people. The best family that you can have 700 miles away.
But what about when they're not 700 miles away?
And that's where you need coping skills because, listen, whether it was Christmas or not Christmas, you need to find a way to survive your family. In my case, I'm going to be staying with my family. I'm going to be in their house. Now, I'm a person who's used to having my own space. So one of the things that I do that I find that helps a lot is to make a plan. I'm not really a planner. I talk a lot about just, things just accidentally happen to me.
Mm-hmm.
But in order to make sure that I survive the holidays, I make a plan. I make a plan with my family. I make a plan with my wife. I make time to be alone. Every morning I wake up and I drive to a local restaurant and I sit and I drink a Diet Coke for a couple hours. That's my plan. And I tell my family ahead of time that I'm going to do this. So they just, when I get up and take a shower and walk out into the room, they're just like, hi, Gabe, we'll see you in a couple hours. And this allows me to ease myself into the day to have a couple of hours to spend alone. Then on the flip side of that, I go back to my bedroom an hour or two before bedtime, again with my laptop, and I spend an hour or two decompressing, again alone. And I've been doing this for so long that my family just sort of expects it. Mm-hmm. They know that this is the plan, and therefore they're not offended by it because in their mind, it's just normal. It's just regular.
Gotcha.
So what's your coping skills, Vin? Because you just stay alone.
Yeah. Pretty much. It has been a few years since I've spent the holidays with my family. That's true.
And it's okay to be alone, right?
Sure, it is okay to be alone. Yeah, I really don't mind it a lot. I've been alone quite a lot of my life, honestly. So it's what I'm used to, and I am okay with it.
Vin, were you always okay to be alone on Christmas, or early on, did it bother you?
The first time I was not with my family at Christmas, it was pretty rough. And that would have been when I first moved away from Pennsylvania. I was in Utah. It was just really hard.
Was it hard because of your expectations, or was it hard because you were alone? Did you set yourself up to fail is what I'm asking.
Well, I wasn't alone in that case. I was with my ex and her family.
But she wasn't your ex then?
No,
That's
we were together.
Important.
We weren't married yet. We're not married yet at that point. So yeah. So I was there, but I wasn't with my family. And this was the first time that had ever happened.
So your traditions were changing.
They were very much changing, yeah.
Now, how did you get
over the
through
years,
that?
they would just change more. How did I get through it? Well, just tolerated it. I dealt with it. I tried to embrace the new rather than stress over not having the old.
One of the things that a lot of people talk about this time of year is the incredible pop culture idea that the holidays must be perfect. I saw a commercial for a grocery store. So here it is. We've got 30 seconds. Here's the setup. Somebody is sitting home alone in their apartment, and within 30 seconds, this department store just managed to just outfit this guy's entire house. I think he even found love by the end of the commercial, and it's just like, wow, just what a turnaround! Awesome. I want that Christmas magic to happen to me.
I want to shop there.
Yeah, I know. But life doesn't work that way. It is fun to believe that it could. I mean, we all need fantasy and dream, but in reality, that's not reasonable. If you're sitting alone in your apartment in the morning, you're probably going to be sitting alone in your apartment in the evening unless you make a specific plan. This idea that Christmas is going to save us with its magic is just a skosh ridiculous.
Yeah. So we can't have these kind of expectations. You're right. And television, movies, whatever. Now, granted, there are a lot of movies that show really messed up holidays, so there is that. but yes, the whole Christmas will save us thing. You're right. It's just over the top, and we shouldn't even think that way.
That's actually a really good thing to point out. When I was younger, all of the Christmas movies were overwhelmingly positive. Mm-hmm. Scrooge became a good guy at the end. The Grinch's heart grew 3 sizes. Everybody lived happily ever after. Families made up. Estranged parents forgave their children. And clearly that can't be the way it is, because as you pointed out just now, here we are 25 years later and we have Bad Moms Christmas, and we have, Fred Claus, and we have families that are just fighting for the entire thing. And even National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation, while it did turn out okay in the end, dude went crazy for a while. And things did not turn out perfectly for him, but they made the best of it. So clearly this is resonating with people that Christmas just can't be perfect. Otherwise, these movies would find no footing.
Right.
Yeah. So it's great. And so, Vin, I'm going to ask you, because you are the resident not liking the holidays guy. Is it okay not to like Christmas? Is it okay just to not care about this time of year? But why? With all of the advertising, all of the shopping, all of the Christmas cheer, the bell ringing, doesn't it kind of seem like you're doing something wrong? I mean, how do you not internalize this? Because everybody wants you to have a Merry Christmas this time of year. How do you just go on with your day and not think that you're somehow missing out?
To be honest, that has never once crossed my mind.
It just doesn't occur to you?
No.
Wow. So you are like the mindfulness expert. Like, you are so great at mindfulness. You have you have radically accepted that you don't like the holidays and that it's okay and that it doesn't matter what anybody else thinks, and you just go through your day like it's no problem.
Well, first of all, I want to clarify that the way you're saying it, is making me sound like I really dislike the holidays, and that's absolutely not true.
That's true. You don't dislike the holidays. You are indifferent about them. But many people who are indifferent, they judge themselves for it. And interestingly enough, society does as well. I mean, let's be honest here. People aren't allowed to be indifferent this time of year. You either have to be completely excited or it's bah humbug city. We really don't have a middle ground when we're talking about Christmas spirit.
Yeah, I suppose that's true, yeah.
And what's interesting before we go on break is that between the two of us, I love Christmas, you're middle ground. You give me gifts every year, and I have yet to get you one. And with that, we're going to step away to listen to a message from our sponsor, and we'll be right back.
This episode is sponsored by BetterHelp.com. Secure, convenient, and affordable online counseling. All counselors are licensed, accredited professionals. Anything you share is confidential. Schedule secure video or phone sessions, plus chat and text with your therapist whenever you feel it's needed. A month of online therapy often costs less than a single traditional face-to-face session. Go to BetterHelp.com/Psych Central and experience 7 days of free therapy to see if online counseling is right for you. BetterHelp.com/Psych Central.
Welcome back, everyone. We're here talking about the holidays and the stress that often accompanies them. And I want to bring up one that I think a lot of people deal with, and that is overspending. Because,
overspending is huge.
Yeah. Christmas rolls around. It's like, okay, we make a list. We've got this entire list of all the people we've got to buy gifts for. Everybody from family to friends to coworkers to sometimes, our mail delivery people, that sort of thing. And wow, that can get pricey pretty quick.
We've done overspending on this show before. So
we have, yes.
I want to be clear that when we're talking about overspending in this context, we're not talking about retail therapy. We're not talking about in response to stress, depression, or happiness or celebrating. Yeah. We're talking about a rational decision that, hey, even though I don't have the money, I want to give my family or my friends a better Christmas. So I'm going to go into debt to do so.
Exactly.
And that is cost. So it's stress isn't driving spending. Spending is driving stress, even though the reason is pure.
Yeah, it's a great reason. It's a great reason. It's lovely to buy gifts for people. And as you alluded to earlier before the break, yes, I give you gifts. I love giving gifts. I really, really do.
This works out because I love getting them, Vin.
Great.
I really do.
But my bank account's not too fond of it.
Right. So you make a budget every year, and we've talked about this before.
Maybe.
I'm not saying that you don't break it, but you do keep it reasonable. Never once have you sent me a gift that was so expensive that I saw the need to send it back. They're always moderately priced, reasonable gifts, and you buy for everybody. And I'm going to assume that you're not paying off Christmas gifts from 2010 here in 2017.
No, I'm not.
Okay. So keep it affordable is a good message. Now, for many people, if they we don't have kids. So it's really easy to say, hey, keep it affordable for your friends and family, because our friends and family aren't our children. What's the message to a parent that wants to give their kid that toy, that wants to spend the money, but just isn't able to for financial reasons, and knows that if they step out on that, if they spend the extra money, that it's going to cause problems that are farther reaching after Christmas Day?
Well, here's the flaw in this idea for this discussion, is that here we are, as you pointed out, two childless guys trying to give advice to parents. And I know a lot of parents who will just say, who are you to give me advice? You have no idea what you're talking about.
Yeah. If you have children and you need child rearing advice, find somebody without kids. They know everything.
We do.
We do. But sincerely, there is a psychological principle here that if you overspend and you can't make bills and you're stressful, you're not going to enjoy the time that you can spend with your children. And while it's nice to get them, the greatest toy, etc., if you're so stressed out that you can't enjoy it with them, you are going to diminish their joy.
This is true, but we also have to look at what are the expectations that the children have. Have we allowed them to expect to be spoiled rotten to get those really expensive gifts year after year? Or have we instead instilled in them some reasonable expectation that's like, well, no, that's really an expensive gift. I shouldn't expect that just because my friend got it.
And that's something that we should talk about avoiding toxic people. Because some people do have this notion around Christmas, that Christmas is all about, we can replace this with really anything. But some people have the notion that Christmas is all about who got the best presents. Mm-hmm. And for many of us, myself included, that's not what we're trying to do. I'm not trying to give my wife the most expensive present to prove that I'm the best husband. I'm trying to give my wife a present that she is going to like, that's not going to put us in debt come January.
Right.
So somebody that told me that I was going to be a bad husband if I didn't get my wife a more expensive gift, my best bet to enjoy the holiday season would be to avoid that person. And that's just one point of toxicity.
Mm-hmm.
There's many others. There's plenty of others. And toxic people can come in all shapes and sizes. It's important to point out this time of year that somebody can be momentarily toxic. And you're thinking to yourself, what do you mean momentarily toxic? For example, if you're somebody in alcoholism recovery and you have a friend that likes to drink at the holiday party, that person will be toxic for you at the time. Maybe don't go to that holiday party because it would be tempting. Your friend will have a better time if you're not there, and you won't be tempted if you're not. It doesn't make your friend a bad person. It doesn't make you a bad person. We just have to set reasonable expectations that, hey, this is not something that we can share together. So skipping certain parties that your friends throw, if they have, triggers for you, there's not necessarily anything wrong with that. I just want to point out that so often people with anxiety and disorders like myself, when Vin invites us over and I don't show up, I don't tell Vin why. And what I need to say is, Vin, I love you. It's Christmas, but the reason I'm not coming over is because your apartment is very small and you invited 20 people and I get very claustrophobic. Mm-hmm. And I will meet you tomorrow for coffee, but that's why I'm not coming to your party. Because a lot of times what I say is, I'm coming. I cancel at the last minute. Right. And then you're left to wonder why I bailed on you. And, I become the toxic person in that situation.
Yeah, but I get that because I have a fair degree of social anxiety myself. That's why I turn down invitations from coworkers to spend Thanksgiving with them, for example.
But listen to what you just said. You turn it down.
Yes,
that's the maturity level.
Yes.
Early on in my diagnosis, I would accept the invitation and then I wouldn't show up. I just wouldn't show up. And they set a place at the table. They made plans for me. And then they just thought that I was being rude. And then I would say, well, it's because I was sick. But I'd only say that internally, of course. So we have to set the example that we want for other people. And this time of year, if there's something that you can't do because you can't afford it, because your illness won't allow it, or simply because you don't want to, be honest with the person. This is really important to having reasonable holiday expectations. We talked about how the media blows things out of proportion, but little things matter too. If you're a person living with social anxiety and you expect to attend every single party that you're invited to, and you're somebody who's invited to a lot of parties, you have set an unreasonable expectation that you will no doubt fail at, that will no doubt diminish your holiday joy.
Yes, indeed.
But it's important that we talk about the reason for the season. No, not
the
that
reason for the season. Commercialism?
Yeah. No. That's not the one. It's not religion either. Although it's very important to many people this time of year. I'm talking about spending time with our loved ones, being grateful for the people around us. So often during, as you said, the commercialism, through the stress, through the hustle and bustle, through the busyness, through all the things that we have going on, we just simply forget to be with those we love and those who love us. And not being grateful for them is well, it's just a missed opportunity.
It is. And unfortunately, one of the things you just said, the hustle and bustle, it prevents that closeness. It's difficult sometimes when you go, I travel across the country to see my family. And of course there's a fairly large number of people there. And so the amount of time that you can spend with any one of them is pretty limited. And that in and of itself is stressful for me because I'm not getting what I want out of it, to spend more time with this person and that person. But, that's the nature of the holidays.
But some is better than none. And
True.
If you can't be with your family on Christmas, Vin, one of our traditions every year, I always call you on Christmas morning. We have a 3-hour time difference, so it's my afternoon, it's your morning, except for that one unfortunate year that you got your Christmas call at 4 a.m.
I've forgotten all about that.
Oh, then that never happened. I just said that for the sake of the show, just to add a little levity. Listen, folks, it boils down to some basic things that we do have control over this time of year. Having reasonable holiday expectations, try to keep it as affordable as you can. Kids don't need everything, and kids definitely need boundaries, and our friends don't need everything. Spend more time with people rather than more times giving people things. Avoid toxic people, and by the same token, don't be a toxic person. If Christmas isn't for you, let it go. A lot of people are having fun with it. And finally, as we just said, be grateful for those around you. They're not going to be around forever. We're not going to be around forever. By we, I mean this podcast. Yeah, I've tried to freeze our heads like in Futurama so that we can do this forever. But somebody told me that wasn't a real thing. Wow. I was shocked.
Wow. My expectations are dashed.
Vin, do you have any last words?
Are you trying to kill me again?
No, I need you for co-hosting abilities.
Yeah.
All right.
Just everybody have a wonderful and safe holiday.
Happy holidays, everyone. And thanks, everyone, for tuning in. Remember, you can get 1 week of convenient, affordable, private online counseling anytime, anywhere by visiting betterhelp.com/Psych Central. And don't forget, we have the very awesome Facebook group where you can talk to cool people like Vin and I. And that is over at psychcentral.com/FB show, all lowercase. We will see everybody next week.
Thank you for listening to the Psych Central Show. Please rate, review, and subscribe on iTunes or wherever you found this podcast. We encourage you to share our show on social media and with friends and family. Previous episodes can be found at psychcentral.com/show. Psychcentral.com is the internet's oldest and largest independent mental health website. Psych Central is overseen by Dr. John Grohol, a mental health expert and one of the pioneering leaders in online mental health. Our host, Gabe Howard, is an award-winning writer and speaker who travels nationally. You can find more information on Gabe at gabehoward.com. Our co-host, Vincent M. Wales, is a trained suicide prevention crisis counselor and author of several award-winning speculative fiction novels. You can learn more about Vincent at vincentmwales.com. If you have feedback about the show, please email talkback@psychcentral.com.